On today's episode, we are going to be restoring this antique 120-year-old display cabinet. I have reason to believe that this is an English piece of furniture and that it was made around the Edwardian time. I did find some comparable ones online. I'm really excited to show you how I'm restoring it while still keeping all the age and patina of it. It just needed a few things fixed here and there, a little bit of strengthening to it since it was pretty wobbly and kind of falling apart. Another thing that I'm going to be doing is adding in some classic design details with the new fabric that I'm going to be replacing instead of that red velvet. And while I'm waiting for some of these elements to dry from everything that I did to fix it, I'm going to take you along with me to some thrift stores because I need to find some really unique items to fill this display case with since I don't really have a whole lot. I sold tons of my stuff when I moved to Texas a year ago, so I need to find some really unique stuff, and Texas has tons of really unique china. So I'll show you a big haul of the dishes that I got as well as some other random things that I got from the thrift store. And then I'm going to take you along with me for another restoration, which is to restore one of the things that I got from the thrift store, this silver teapot. And finally, my favorite part will be the decorating. I had so much fun decorating, and the whole reason I did this project was just for this moment where I got to decorate this cabinet in the room. Hello and welcome back to Desert DIY. If you are new here, my name is Corey. After my last video where I redid my formal dining room, I have received a ton of new subscribers, so welcome to all those who are new. We love to have you here, and this is a great community where everybody is supportive of each other's creative ideas. I love sharing with you everything that I'm doing in my home as well as things that I do to sell or to donate. And this piece today is going to be finishing off my formal dining room makeover that I did last week. If you haven't seen that yet, I will link that in the description box down below. I picked up this antique from a estate sale. That took me a second to remember. I paid $23 for it, and it looked like it was in really good condition in the picture from the estate sale. But as per usual, it needed a lot more work than I originally thought. I think almost all of my projects go that way, so at this point I am expecting that. The thing I wasn't expecting was that all of the fabric inside it was hot glued on. Now, I know you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, how could somebody do that? I don't feel that way when I find pieces like this. In my opinion, I see this as somebody was trying to make this piece look awesome in their house using what they had. And this piece still had the key left in it. So I know that whoever owned it before truly treasured it, and they wanted to make sure that it was something that looked amazing in their formal dining room, and I'm going to do the same exact thing for in my dining room, and I can't wait to show you all the ways that I make this piece shine and look beautiful again. I'm not reinventing the wheel with this. I am going to keep it as classic and as close to the original as possible, although I am a purist as far as leaving patina, so I will not be refinishing it. I'm going to be restoring it. The very first thing that I need to fix on here is the top. So the little decorative backsplash thing is falling off, and the top itself is not attached to the piece whatsoever. It does still have all four of the dowels in there, which I think is awesome because now I don't have to go out and buy any dowels to fit in there and have guesswork to figure out what the right size is and all that. I get to just take this piece off. They had to use random screws that were not original to attach that backsplash piece, so I'll be replacing those with some that are more appropriately sized. But I also need to sand the underneath of that top. It's not super necessary to do, but I feel like it just needed to be cleaned up in order to be good enough for this piece because of how beautiful all the rest of the details are. It had some really random spots of white wood filler in it, which I don't understand, and so because of that I am going to go ahead and sand and then paint because I feel like it just looks weird with the white dots in there. You'll never see this, it's never going to be visible, but to me I really had to do this in order for it to live up to the beauty of the piece. It needed the details on the inside to look as beautiful as the outside. I gave a nice sanding to all the edges that would possibly be re-glued because when the old glue is there, it doesn't allow the new glue to really grab onto the wood. So you have to sand off old glue before applying new glue in order to get the best adhesion. Next, I'm going to take the shelves out. They were attached with 2 screws, one on either side, and then they had nails in the back that held it into that back piece of wood there. And when I was taking this apart, I knew that nail thing in the back was going to make it really hard to put back together. Luckily, it wasn't as bad as I thought. And as far as getting this fabric off, since it was hot glued, it was so easy to take off. Imagine had it been applied with a strong spray glue like I'm going to do with my new fabric. It would have been a pain getting it all off, if you could even get it all off. So I kind of appreciate the fact that they just hot glued it on there. Some of it didn't come off with the sander, so I grabbed my heat gun and started scraping it after it was a little bit warmed up. In some spots it still just scraped right off even without using the heat gun. So I really appreciated this moment. It made the prep way easier. Now it's time to take the back piece off. The reason I'm taking the back piece off is because I thought that it would look better if the back was also fabric, so that it's not just the shelves that are fabric. I thought that would be kind of weird looking if it were just the shelves that were fabric. And something I forgot to mention while I was taking the fabric, old fabric off, was that I did see some remnants of the original, and the original was green, like a sage green, which is so funny because that is the color of my dining room. I need to remove all the nails out of the back. You can't reuse these tiny nails usually. These were not the original nails, the ones I'm pulling out right now. Although I did find some original nails in the piece, like in the back of the piece, not in this piece that I'm doing, but like on the actual furniture. I found some of the original nails, which were smaller and skinnier. When you remove these type of nails, they always bend, and so it's really hard to keep the original ones. And when they're not the original ones, they're made of even weaker metal, so that they definitely are going to bend. So you're going to have to use new nails when you reapply a back like this. I resanded the back again, I felt like I needed to. Although I am going to cover it with fabric, it wasn't perfectly smooth. I didn't want there to be any weird roughness to it before I put the fabric on, and I used my blower to get the dust off. It didn't need to be perfect again because I'm shellacking it and covering it with fabric, and the shellac made it look brand new, so I thought, oh, maybe I should have just kept it wood, but I'm remembering it's about how it's going to look when it ends. Even though some small details may look good on their own, we have to keep in our heads the big picture of how everything's going to look together in the end. The bottom was way easier to scrape than the shelves, and I sanded it just like I did the rest and pulled out a few of those original nails like I was telling you about. I'm going to share an old handyman trick here for filling big screw holes that have kind of been bored out. You take wooden toothpicks and you put a dab of wood glue on them and break them off into the hole that's too big. It helps to fill it in. Then you can go ahead and screw a new screw in there and it will be nice and tight. And hopefully it will last another 120 years before somebody else has to do the same trick again. I'm hand screwing in the screws here because I don't want to over tighten them. It is an old piece. It's a funky thing to have to screw on because it's a thin piece of wood, so I didn't want to do anything that could potentially harm it. I am also going to glue only the dowels. I realized mid-gluing that some of these pieces of wood on the trim on the edge here have shrunk down, so they weren't even going to be touching the top, and then I used a rubber mallet to hammer it down. And then I didn't get this on camera, but I used some tie-down straps, ratchet straps, to hold it down because I didn't have any clamps that were big enough to do that. And then right here I'm adding on some gel stain to stain the bottom. Then I let it dry for a while in my garage. A couple days ago, before I started working on rebuilding it, I had it in my house kind of just getting ideas, and I pulled a bunch of fabrics that I already had on hand and brought them down to see how they would look and kind of figure out what direction I wanted to go in. I have a problem choosing things sometimes because I love everything, so I have to see it real life in person. I still had some leftover fabric from when I did this chair, so definitely considering that one. Which one of these fabrics would you have chosen for this piece and why? Let me know down in the comments section down below. Obviously, you already know which one I chose. I chose the one that matched the chair, not just because it matched the chair, but because I felt like the other ones were competing too much with the room and competing too much with the piece, and I thought something solid but still textured would be best for the classic look of the piece, and I felt like that was going to age really well with the piece as well. Hopefully it does. You never know how styles are going to change. I feel like that this look is very classic though, and it does well with the fact that this piece is an antique piece from England. I feel like the people in England 120 years ago would think it looked pretty as well. I sprayed on some glue, rubbed it down nice and smooth, and then trimmed the edges off. I'm going to do the exact same thing here with the shelves, and surprisingly enough, this was pure fate. I had the exact right amount of fabric to do the back and the two shelves before I was completely out. Like I literally just had like a 1-inch scrap left over. The shelves were all finished. I was officially drenched in sweat, and my mask, or my respirator, was also drenched in sweat. Super gross. I was ready to get out of these clothes that were sticking to me and into something else. Changed my outfit. Ready to go thrift. Time to go to the thrift store. I have never filmed myself driving like this before, and I felt super awkward. You can see it on my face the whole time. I did not know what to do, but I've seen that it's a common practice for people who are going out to do something in their YouTube video. Look at how mad I look for no reason. It's just so weird. I don't think I'll ever record this again, but I had to share it with you because I thought it was too funny. The scenery is absolutely gorgeous here in Houston, so I'll share that with you. That's something super beautiful. The thrift store that I went to is called Black Cat Junction. I saw it on Google Maps when I've been searching all high and low around Houston for thrift stores. They had good reviews. They had some free stuff outside, and I believe they are a nonprofit that helps people in the community, so I thought that was pretty cool. I'm trying to be more aware of who I give my money to these days. The kids and I had fun looking through here. It was kind of a mixed thing. It had a lot of clothes, tons of clothes, and then it had like boutique home decor items. And the common theme that I find through all thrift stores really since I've moved to Texas is that it's very expensive, in my opinion. I'm sure there's people who are watching this seeing the prices and being like, oh, that's great. But for me, what I'm used to from Arizona, this is a much higher amount of money they're asking for everything. One cup is $4, one plate is $4, although I thought these would be really cute for fall decorating. If you have a hutch and you want to decorate new dishes for fall. This picture I thought was really pretty, but it was 20 bucks or 19 bucks. Just seemed like a little bit overkill. I feel like I could go to the store and buy a brand new pitcher for less than that. So I don't really know how they price these things. Like, what do they go off of? Are they looking every single thing up on eBay and seeing what people are asking on eBay? I just don't get it. It was like I was shopping at an antique store, but it was just a thrift store. So it was just very confusing. Like $10 for that little pot right there. The plates here were $2 a piece, which is better. I just feel like the days of cheap thrift storing are over for me. There's really no cheap thrift stores to go to. I think maybe yard sales might be where I start going more often once the weather cools down a bit. But it's just hard with kids to do yard sales because you get in and out of the car so many times. And I love going to thrift stores. So I don't know, maybe I'm just gonna have to thrift less or I don't know, maybe sell more furniture so I have more money to go thrifting. It's an interesting conundrum having expensive thrift stores now. Let me know what you think about the prices at thrift stores lately, especially in your area. Let me know where you are and how you feel about the prices. I feel like I have found some good stuff. Like these are Spode, which are collectible, and they were an okay price, I think. 5.75, so about $6. But they're really unique and it's a collectible thing. This I thought was overpriced, $10. I don't know, I just felt like this maybe at an antique store I could see these prices. This I think was fair. They were $3 per glass. I don't really need these, and I was trying so hard to just wait until something spoke to me in the store. Here's where I found that silver teapot. It was $9, and I thought, okay, that's fair. This I thought was really affordable, $5, and it's kind of a collectible thing with a chinoiserie vase. These were really cool anchor hawking cups, but there wasn't enough of them for it to be something worth buying because I felt like if I was going to have the green, look at this, $50 plate. But I felt like if I was going to have green, I should have the whole set. These were $18 per cup. Maybe I'm just not used to expensive things. Maybe these are like these amazing dishes that I've never heard of or something. I don't understand why they're so expensive when they're used. That's, I guess, somebody please explain it to me. There were some really beautiful things at another thrift store that I went to down the street, and I don't remember the name of that one, but I loved these purple vases or pitchers. It's just, purple's my favorite color, but I don't have any purple in my home. I don't like decorating with it. It's kind of weird. I did end up getting quite a few things over the past week, and these are some of the things that I got. So I got this $3 plate. This was from that thrift store that I showed you guys. It's a Spode plate, but it has a crack on the top or a missing chunk out of it, which does not bother me whatsoever. The next thing that I got is this chinoiserie style vase. It was only $4.99. Everyone, please say hello to my daughter. She's here on my lap while I'm doing the voiceover. So if you hear her talking, she just wants to be a part of it. But this I'm going to have fun decorating with because I have tons of this kind of stuff already. And it's going to look really great with the rest of the room. Then, of course, my $9 silver-plated teapot, which I'm going to restore for you guys in a little bit later in the video. This I'm really excited to decorate with. I've been looking for one just like this for a while. I got this piece of crystal glass, I think it is. I think I spent $8 for it. My kids said that it reminded them of a Hershey's Kiss, which I thought was really cute. I didn't see that at first. I don't know why, but I thought it was really unique. And like I was saying before, I was looking for really unique things in here that I wouldn't get tired of looking at, and this is definitely unique. I got this other piece, which was $10 to pair with it. I really like the lid on it. And then all around the edge, it has this flower petal detail that I really liked, and I really thought that that was unique. The next piece is a glass bowl that I picked up from the second thrift store. They were having a half off day of everything you can fit inside this bag. So I got this bowl, originally $20 for $10. And I loved the detail around the edge. Don't you think so too, Rory? It's really cute. Something I got earlier in the week was this entire set of china. It is not anything super collectible. It has really beautiful fruit all around the edge. The brand is Gibson, and they're dishwasher safe, which is one of the reasons I like them. And I need a Thanksgiving dish set that has tons of dishes in it for when I host people, if I were to have people come visit us for Thanksgiving. I spent only $6 on this entire set. It had the pitcher, the sugar dishes, a little creamer jar thing, and only $6 for all of that. It's also going to work really well to decorate the hutch right here. I tell you guys over and over again, I can't wait to decorate this hutch for different holidays, and I think having a white china set will make it easy to transition from different holidays because I can just change the colored charger that is behind the dishes to different colors. Like for fall, I can make it orange, etc. The next thing I'm going to show you is a cute little Santa mug. I got it for $1, and if you see me kind of moving around and talking in the video, I was originally talking to the camera, but for some reason the audio recorded really weird and it was cutting out. So now I'm going to do the voiceover over that, which kind of bums me out because I was having a really fun time doing my little thrift haul. But it's okay. I just want to make sure that you guys get to enjoy it too. These Santa mugs can get pretty pricey around Christmas time, so I was happy with my $1 find. Yeah, that's right. The next thing I got were these little pieces of ironstone. One was older than the other. It's Feldsgraf. I think that's how you say the name of that brand. And I don't think it was that old, I'm not sure. But I thought they were really cute, and these I definitely want to put inside my display case. This one is a smaller one, and then I have a bigger one over there that I actually liked a little bit more. They were originally $6. Yeah, that's right. And I got them for $3 a piece. I can't believe it. $3 a piece. Finally, some good thrift store prices. I know I complained a lot earlier, but I wanted to surprise you guys with some of the good deals that I got. The next thing I got is this little candelabra. It has a blue and gold plate underneath it, which I thought could be used year round or around Christmas time, and this was $1.50. Another cute little set of dishes. This is definitely not the normal color scheme that I would go with. It was originally 6, I got it for 3, but the reason I bought this was because I thought that it would go really well with the theme I'm going to do for Thanksgiving, which is browns mostly with a little bit of deep navy blue. So I thought this would be a good start to my collection of brown Thanksgiving dishes. I have been looking for them everywhere and not finding much, especially not for the cheap prices that I want to get them for. But this was cute. The brand was Nasco Holiday. And last but not least, I got this little topiary. It's Christmas looking right now. And I'm not sure if I'm just going to save this for Christmas and just touch up the little areas that need to be touched up, or if I'm going to completely change it up and make it be something I can use year round with no red berries and maybe like exchange the red berries for a different type of foliage. But I would love some help from you guys. Let me know in the comment section what you would do with this piece. It has good bones. I'm just not sure what direction I want to go with it. So let me know. Just comment, hey, this is what I would do with the topiary, and help me with some ideas. You guys are full of really amazing ideas, and I love that we get to share ideas with each other. Oh, and it was only $2.50. Time to make that beautiful silver kettle look beautiful again, or teapot, whatever you want to call this. It's silver plated, so I have some silver buffing compound. It's a silver cream by the brand called Wrights. I'll link all the products I can from this video in my Amazon store in the description box down below. So if you guys want to try these out, this one is the best one in my opinion. It works so fast. This is in real time. I'm not fast forwarding this part, just so you can see how it actually works. And once it's done, this thing is going to really sparkle. Even I was surprised at how beautiful it looked after I was done polishing it. It really kind of transports my mind back in time, thinking about the people who were using these type of things regularly and having to constantly keep polishing the silver, and imagine the elegance and extravagance of every day using this for your coffee or your tea. I don't even drink coffee or tea. So it's really kind of magical to me thinking of a lifestyle like that. I can't even imagine living that way, but that was before TV, and the things to do were to be together and to have gatherings. And I think that that's something that I can admire, is the desire to have gatherings and have fun together in a group with your friends and family. And that's what I'm hoping that this room will be for me. So I just kind of pictured the past and as well as the present there while I was polishing that pot. But I have to attach this back on. It's going to be super easy and fast. I grabbed some little nails and nailed it back into the back. I tried to use the same holes that were there originally for most of the holes, although I did make some new holes because a lot of the old holes had kind of broken or cracked. I did want to make sure that it's going to stay there for another 120 years at least, or until one day somebody else wants to design this in a different way. If I end up selling it, who knows? I changed my house around so much, I could end up selling it. But I hope I don't, since it looks so beautiful. I was telling my husband today that I can't even believe that this dining room is in our house. I think this is like the best thing I've ever designed in my life, and I'm so happy to share it with you all. My video has almost 100,000 views from last week of my dining room makeover, and everybody is leaving the most wonderful comments. I'm getting to meet so many new people. I think there's over 1,000 new subscribers from that video, and it's just made me completely over the moon happy to get to share that with other people who love the same thing that I do. Somebody had left a comment saying that they don't have any friends that like to do this stuff in real life with them, and I said, well, you have a huge group of those people here on my channel that love the same thing that you do. But at the same time, I really don't have any friends that like to go thrifting or anything like that in person. So I understand how that feels. And I've had people tell me my house looks like a haunted house. I've had people say that my house is like an old person's house. And I'm like, yes, thank you. Thank you, because I love it. I loved my grandmother's house, and so if my home feels as homey and welcoming as hers did, then thank you for that compliment. I'm totally happy with people thinking that. I am not a modern type of girl. I do love some contemporary things, but for the most part, give me all the antiques and vintage stuff, and I think I'll always be that way. Look at how it turned out. I told you, it looks almost brand new. You can see all your reflection in it, which made it hard to record without you seeing weird reflections in it. Then I have a few of the pieces that I thrifted and put in here. This is my grandmother's. I thought it would go really well with everything that was in there, and I didn't want to overdo it. I really wanted it to be kind of simple and showcase a few things. I had to take down this picture here that I made a while ago, maybe like over a year ago now, because it was hanging a little too low for where the cabinet was. So I put up this one instead the next day. This is something that I got from Tuesday Morning, which unfortunately I can't link since they don't exist anymore. But I'm going to try and link everything that I can in my Amazon store for you guys that's similar. Look at how gorgeous this looks now. It looked gorgeous before. It was just like kind of rough around the edges, but wow, it is drop dead gorgeous now. I can't believe this is my house. I can't believe I get to wake up every morning and walk into this room and see these beautiful things. I'm so proud of myself. I feel cheesy saying that, but you know what? I feel like being open with you guys is the best way to be myself and share my true self with everybody. And I seriously am so proud of myself for this project, especially because I did it almost 99% by myself, and it's something that looks amazing in my home, and my children got to see me do this, and they get to see that you can do things with your own hands and that you don't have to spend a fortune to have something just drop dead gorgeous. Some comparables to this online are selling for over $3,000. $3,000! I can't even say it out loud. I got it for $23 and the cost of some fabric. What? I decorated it with all thrifted finds for less than 40 bucks. What? You do not have to spend a fortune to have a gorgeous home. And another thing is, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So if this is something that you don't think is beautiful, then do what you think is beautiful, because I want you to feel the same way that I do about how this room looks to me. So do what you think looks beautiful in your own home. Don't worry about what anybody else says. It's your house. You make it look how you want it to look, and you go thrift for the things that you want to thrift for. I thought that my chandelier looked so beautiful with that mirrored frame around that painting, and the whole room has officially come together. I'm done for now, because you know you're never really done decorating, are you? You're gonna just keep changing it, at least if you're like me, you are. But the next big thing I'm gonna do in this room is decorate it for fall, which is obviously a while from now. But I just wanted to say thank you all so much for coming over here today to support my channel. I had a blast doing this project, and also editing today was really fun. I had a good time with it. I hope you had a really good time watching, and if you were in the live chat during the premiere, I'm so glad you're here, and I'm glad we get to chat. My next big project is going to be my formal living room, which is connected to this room, and it's going to be a similar style, but just a kind of inverted, if that makes sense. But thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw today, don't forget to hit subscribe and hit that notifications button, and I will see you next time. Bye!